Hello everyone, I am Monica Bhushan and today we are starting new module which is Power Series Solution, that is lecture number 1. So till now we have covered second order linear differential equation with constant coefficient, correct? And even we had seen some standard forms like Cauchy standard form and even Legendre's linear differential equation standard form. But in today's class, we are going to start something where we will be dealing with differential equation where not necessarily our coefficient will be constant. Okay, so not necessarily we will be having constant coefficient. So in that case, what method we used to follow will not work. And sometimes what happens that those differential equations where the coefficients will not be always constant, some variable, some pattern will not be there. So even we cannot solve those differential equation to get the exact solution. Okay, so that case we come into this power series solution method. So power series solution method is useful for solving those type of differential equation where the coefficients will not be constant, first thing. Even we will not be able to get the exact solution easily. Okay, what is the idea behind this power series solution method? So what actually we do here, we assume that some unknown function, suppose y is some function with respect to x, so this y is unknown where we want to really find the value of y. That yx we will be writing down in terms of power series. That means we will be writing down, suppose a naught x to the power 0 plus a1 x to the power 1 plus a2 x to the power 2 and plus so on until infinity also, right? So what actually we are seeing here, that this is the summation of some power, right? X power 0, x power 1, x power 2 and so on. And we can write here in this form also, we can write that sigma, suppose n equals 0 till infinity and then an x to the power n. This is the same thing, right, what I am writing down here. Okay, and finally what we will be finding out here, we will try to find out all those coefficients. These are the coefficients of x naught 0, x naught 1 and so on. So we will try to find this coefficient values and then finally we will come to know that what is the value of y. Okay, so this method is actually going to be called as series solution method, and this method we use when for some type of differential equations where we will not be able to find the solution by our usual method. Okay, we have actually some linear differential equation called Bessel's differential equation. Even we have in the syllabus Legendre's differential equation, where we may fail to find its solution by our usual method. So in these cases, when we have to find the solution of Bessel's differential equation, so we opt for series solution. Then we find Bessel function, which is also written as Jnx. Bessel function is also called as special function. Okay, so we'll see that how to find this Jnx and how we are going to follow the process of series solution method to get the answer of Bessel differential equation. Okay, so first of all, we will try to know that what is actually Bessel differential equation, or maybe why this equation is so important that we say that it is not easily solvable by our usual method, whatever we have covered in the previous module. So this form is called as Bessel differential equation of order n. Okay, and the form says that this is x square d2y by dx square plus x dy by dx plus x square minus n square y equals 0. So yes, this is our second order differential equation. What we had seen that what is called as order and degree. So as per that rule, yes, this is the second order differential equation. But this second order differential equation is of order n of Bessel differential equation. So for Bessel differential equation, the order is n. whatever n value is given to me, this is of that order. So this n is actually non-negative real constant. So non-negative, be careful, and this is real constant. Okay, so now we will be solving this Bessel differential equation by using power series method. Now what we are seeing here, this differential equation, what we had seen was x square d2y by dx square plus x dy by dx plus x square minus n square y equals 0, right? This is only our Bessel differential equation. Now we see that the coefficient of this d2y by dx square, or we say this is y double dash, this is y dash, this is y, correct? So this coefficient of d2y by dx square is what? This is your x square. Suppose I am giving the name p naught x for this x square is what? This x square is coefficient of d2y by dx square. Similarly, I can give the name p1x for coefficient of dy by dx. This is your x. Okay, this p naught x is x square. That means if I'll put the value of x as 0, right? If I'm putting the value of x 0, then p naught x will be 0. Okay, this says us that x is the singular point of Bessel differential equation at x equals 0, right? We know that something which is called as singular point, something which is called as ordinary point. So what was your ordinary point? If suppose p naught x, suppose this p naught x was not 0, right? So that will say that, okay, this is my ordinary point. If p naught x is what? This is the coefficient of d2y by dx square. If this value p naught x is 0 at x equals 0, so that means for sure that at x equals 0, x is the singular point of Bessel differential equation. We'll come to know that this is actually the regular singular point of Bessel differential equation. Okay, and why we are interested in finding out whether this point is regular singular point or not? Because if it is regular singular point, then we will be using Frobenius method to solve this Bessel differential equation. So what is actually Frobenius method? So this is nothing but the series method only, but this is called as generalized series method. Okay, I'll just write down this. What we are following is Frobenius, okay, method. And what is Frobenius method? This is nothing but the generalized series solution method, where the value of n, right, the value of n, what this value, okay, the value of n can be fractional also, can be negative also. So here the n can be fractional also. Because of that only we have written down that this is real constant, and in this particular case actually we have n value non-negative. Okay, fine. So what we are going to start, till here I think things are a little clear, right? So now what we are going to do, okay, so what we are starting with, we are just assuming that the series solution of Bessel differential equation in the form of y equals, we had seen, right, that this is nothing but the summation of power. So y equals summation ar x to the power k plus r. Okay, and what is this r? R is regulating this series. That means r is 0 till infinity. So if we will expand this solution, so this will be nothing but a naught x to the power k, because r is 0, plus a1 x to the power k plus 1 plus so on till infinity, correct? So this is the method, if we are following this series solution method or Frobenius method. So for that, this will be my first step always, because I want to actually solve this differential equation using series solution method. So this is the series, correct? This is the series, and then we'll find out, finally my job will be to find out what is this y. Okay, now the second step is I'm going to find out what is dy by dx. Third step will be I will be finding out what is d2y by dx square. But the question is, why I'm finding out dy by dx and d2y by dx square? Because if you will see this Bessel differential equation here, this Bessel differential equation needs the value of d2y by dx square. It needs the value of dy by dx, right? And y is also there, correct? So what my job is, I'm going to write down the value of y, value of dy by dx, value of d2y by dx square in the form of series solution. Okay, so for that we know that y is sigma ar x to the power k plus r, where r is 0 to infinity. So I'm going to find out what is the value of dy by dx. So my dy by dx will be what? So you just see here. So what will be my dy by dx? So it is nothing but AR is constant, so I'm just keeping AR constant. The sigma sign is, I'm just copying it here, okay? This is 0 till infinity. AR is constant, so I'm keeping it here only. Now, x to the power k plus r, x is my variable, correct? So x to the power k plus r, if I'm finding out d by dx of x to the power k plus r, it will give me what? It will give me k plus r and then x to the power k plus r minus 1. Right, we know these things, correct? This is nothing but n x to the power n minus 1, right? So the same pattern we have followed here. Fine. Now, what will be my d2y by dx square? So for d2y by dx square, I am finding out again differentiation of this term. So what I am writing down, the sigma 0 to infinity ar, even k plus r is constant. So this complete thing I am just copying, okay? And after that, I'm finding out this part, the differentiation of this much. That means k plus r minus 1 into x to the power k plus r minus 1 minus 1. It will give me k plus r minus 2. So we got to know what is y, what is dy by dx, what is d2y by dx square in the form of series solution. Because always keep in mind that you have to solve this differential equation. This differential equation is only called as Bessel differential equation, and you are going to find out solution of this differential equation. Okay, but the method which we are following is something new. That is, we have to use the series method, okay, series solution method. Fine. So now in this step, what we are doing here? So we are just writing down, this is your first thing, that what is your d2y by dx square? This is my d2y by dx square, correct? In this d2y by dx square, I have to multiply x square also, right? So if I am multiplying x square, so what I am going to do? This complete term will be as it is, I will be copying. So just see here, I am just copying this complete term here as it is, correct? And then this is, if I am multiplying x square, so x to the power k plus r minus 2 plus 2, so it will be k to x to the power k plus r. So because of that only here this much is written. Fine. Now what will be my second term? Second term says that I have to write down dy by dx into x. Dy by dx is here. So sigma 0 to infinity ar k plus r, everything is written as it is. Just I am going to multiply x. If I am multiplying x here, that means x to the power 1. That means minus 1 plus 1, correct? So it will give me x to the power k plus r only. Okay, now plus what I have to write down, x square minus n square y. So what I am writing down, I am just separating here to make it simpler. Okay, so what I am writing down, x square into y, and what is my y? Y is here, right? So what I am writing down here, x square, that means I will be, if I am multiplying x square here, so it will give me x to the power k plus r plus 2. X to the power k plus r plus 2. And before that, this is whatever is written that, right? I am just copying it. Fine. Now second term is minus n square and then y. Y as it is, I've just written down as it is y. Fine. So this is a very important term, right? What I have written down? I have written down this differential equation in the form of series solution method. Okay. And the right hand side is 0. Now I'm just simplifying it here. Okay, so this term I'm just copying from the previous slide. Power of x I'm just comparing. So this is x to the power k plus r first term, even x to the power k plus r in my second term also, x to the power k plus r in my fourth term also. So I'm collecting these three terms together, and then separately I'm just copying, I will be copying this term, this third term here. Okay, this third term is here. Okay, fine. So what I'm writing down here? this sigma, everywhere the sigma is there, the same value is there. So sigma 0 till infinity. AR is also present here, right? AR is also present here, fine. So not here, yeah, this one. So AR is also present here. So I've just written down this part, and then x to the power k plus r, okay, x to the power k plus r, everything is done. Now I'm just writing down whatever is remaining. So from the first term, I'm just copying k plus r minus 1. This is done. Okay, now for my second term, I'm just copying k plus r. This is also done. This I'm not, this is just written here. The fourth term, minus n square, everything else is already copied, minus n square. Okay, and then since the power of x was different, so I have not made it here also. So I'm just writing down separately as it is, just copying the third term as it is, and then right hand side is 0. Okay, now what I'm going to do, just I'm going to simplify it. That means sigma and then AR x to the power k plus r, everything I've just written down here, and I'm simplifying it. How I'm simplifying it here? So this is k plus r and then k plus r, these two terms I'm just making it as common, k plus r. So now this will be what? K plus r minus 1. This is total one term is there, either you write down bracket or anything. So x plus r minus 1 is total one term, plus 1, correct? Because plus 1, because k plus r you have taken aside, plus 1, and then as it is minus n square, no changes here, plus thus this term, plus this term copying as it is. So this will give you how much? So you can remove this bar. This is nothing but minus 1 plus 1. This is k plus r, k plus r. That means k plus r whole square minus n square. Everything else will be same in the next step. So here the same thing we have seen, correct? So now what I am going to do here? For this term, now we will equate the coefficient of the lowest degree term in x, that is x to the power k. I am going to equate the coefficient of x to the power k to 0. And why I am doing this method? Why, right? So the reason is, since this much I have got, right, I really don't want to even more simplify this term. On this term only I'm going to do the analysis, because my job is to find the value of y, correct? So for that, what the method suggests us, that you start with equating the coefficient of lowest degree term in x, okay, and then keep on doing, keep on increasing it. And because this is what, this is the series solution, since the complete left hand side is nothing but this is equal to 0, okay. So our logic is what we are doing. So we are actually independently we are equating the first term, second term, third term, fourth term till infinity term 0, okay. And how it will be 0? How independently terms will be 0? Because you cannot make x 0, right? Otherwise you won't have the equation only. You cannot make n 0, because n is the order which is actually given to you. This is something constant which is given to you, and even the k is also something which is constant, right? What is governing this complete series is r. That means you have the freedom to choose the value of r from 0 and then keep on increasing it till infinity, and then you will find that the complete solution, finally the addition of everything is nothing but 0. So that only what we are going to start here. We are just taking the lowest degree term, the very first term, lowest degree term in terms of x, and then the coefficient of that x only. That means a0, a1, a2, a3. We will try to find out the value of a0, then we'll try to find out value of a1, then a2, then a3, and so on. And then we will be very nearer to the final solution. So this is the reason to equate the coefficient of the lowest degree term of x with 0. Okay, so this is what. So what I'm going to do. So what will be the lowest degree term, right? What will be the lowest degree term here? So when my r will be 0, because the lowest value will be when r is 0. So that means lowest degree term of x is x to the power k, correct? I'm going to write down here, this is a naught, this first term, just so there's no sigma sign here. Why there's no sigma sign here? Because I'm just picking up the very first term. So why to add the sigma? Sigma is what? Sigma is the addition, summation. So just I'm picking the first term. So first term is what? First term is a0, x to the power k, okay, and then k plus 0, that means k square minus n square, okay. That I'll just write down here, the very first term So I'm writing down at r equals 0, what will be the term? So it will be your a0, okay, x to the power k plus 0, so x to the power k, and here it will be k plus 0, that means k square minus n square, and then plus, here also if I'm writing down r equals 0, so it will give you how much? A naught x to the power k plus 2, and then finally this is the right hand side is 0. Is that okay to write? Okay, now what we have said, that we have to equate the lowest degree term of x as the coefficient as 0. So among these two summation, okay, which one is the lowest degree term of x? This is the lowest degree term. Why? Because this is x to the power k plus 2. So here this is x to the power k. So we know that x to the power k is lesser than x to the power k plus 2, the degree, right? The degree of x to the power k is really lesser than the degree of x to the power k plus 2. So because of that only we are not actually considering this term here. So what is the coefficient of lowest degree of x? So the coefficient is a naught k square minus n square. A naught k square minus n square. Since the complete solution is nothing but 0, so I am starting with equating 0 term independently. So here I am writing down this is 0. Okay. So this, if I have made it 0, so that means what I'm writing down here. So I'll just assume that a naught is not equal to 0. Okay, I'm just saying that no, a naught is not 0. So in that case, what will happen? See, there will be two cases, right? Either a naught is 0 to satisfy this equation, or k square minus n square is 0. But I'm saying that a naught, I'm not making this coefficient as 0. Okay, so my k square minus n square will be 0. And this only I have accepted that yes, my k square minus n square, this term is 0, and then I'm writing down k is plus minus n. Is that okay? So my k is plus minus n. This is very important result from my first degree term, that k is plus minus n, because using this value of k plus n minus n, actually finally I'm going to get the answer of y. I'm going to get the answer of Bessel equation. Okay, now we, next term is what? Also we need to independently equate the coefficient of x to the power k plus 1 to 0, correct? Why? Because x to the power k plus 0, when r was 0, we have done our calculation. Now I'm going to pick the value of r is 1, because after 0, this is what? This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till infinity. So now I'm going to pick the value of r as 1, and then I'm going to equate even the coefficient of when r is 1, and in that case also, that means when r is 1, in that case also we will avoid this second term. And why we will avoid this second term? Because now if the things are getting little clearer, you will understand that in this term, the degree of x in this term is minimum degree is actually x to the power k plus 2. If you will put r value 0, so the minimum degree of x in this term is only k plus 2. So even if you are finding out at r equals 0, you cannot analyze this term, right? Even if you are putting r value 1, you cannot analyze this part, because the minimum degree of x is x to the power k plus 2. So you will start analyzing second term also when you will start dealing with r value 2 or 3 or 4 or till infinity. Okay, before that, that means till value of r 0 and 1, you don't have any role of this second term, and the reason just now I have explained. Okay, so now what we have to do, we are going to equate the coefficient of x to the power k plus 1 to 0. So here is the answer. That means just see here, this is a1, and then x to the power k plus 1, and then k plus 1 whole square minus n square, and this term we are not equating. So this much what we have said just now. Okay, so we are just equating this right hand side is equal to 0. And why we are picking the first term, second term, third term, and we are equating with 0? Because the final summation, final right hand side is 0. So I have to make it 0 each and every term, right? So for that, what we are saying? So this implies that a1 is 0, or because there will be two cases here again. If this is 0, that means either my a1 0 or my k plus 1 whole square minus n square is 0. So if suppose I'm saying that, like how we say it, that a naught is not 0, we'll also say that a1 is not 0. So in that case, what will happen? Then definitely this k plus 1 whole square minus n square will be 0. That means k plus 1 whole square will be n square. Or in that case, k plus 1 will be how much? It will be your plus minus n. But this we cannot actually accept. The reason? Because in the previous case only, we had seen that k value we have accepted that k is plus minus n. So we cannot say that k plus 1 is plus minus 1 plus minus n. So in that case, we will reject this equality, and then we will say that hence my a1 is 0. Okay, so because of that only, we are going to write down here that this implies that a1 is 0, because if I'm equating the same thing, we cannot accept, because already we have assumed that k is plus minus n. Okay, so we got what is my a1 also. A1 is 0. Now the third term is what? Next we will equate the coefficient of x to the power k plus r, where r is greater than or equal to 2 to 0. Okay, so in that case, what we will be doing here? So see here, in that case, we are actually taking the coefficient of my first term, even the second term also. And the reason? Because here it is now going to be eligible to say that x power k plus 2 or x power k plus 3 or so on. This will also have some role to play. But why we are writing down here r minus 2? So we'll just see that. Okay, so we'll just go back to this equation. So what is the coefficient of x power k plus 2 in my first term? So I'm just going to write down r equals 2. So if r equals 2, so my first term will be a2, and then x to the power k plus 2, and then it will be your k plus 2 whole square minus n square. Correct? Okay, now in that case, what will be here? It will be your 2. So the power of x is actually not x plus 2, which I'm interested right now. Here the power is x, here the power is k plus 4. Okay, so what I have to choose here in this series, what I have to choose the value of r in this series, the second one, I'm going to pick the value of r, where r is 0. If r is 0, so it will give me what? X to the power k plus 2. Whatever value you are picking from this first summation, from the second summation, to make the power of x same, you have to pick the value of r to lesser than the value what you are picking from the first term. So that means if you are picking the value of r 2 in your first series, so the second series you have to pick the value of 0. That only in the generalized term, what we have written down here, in the generalized term, we have written down that if x to the power k plus r I am going to choose, so in that case first term is ar, because for r this is as it is r only, this is the term, plus from the second series we are going to pick the value, so we are going to pick a r minus 2. Correct? So because of that only this is r minus 2, because this is the generalized term. Okay, so finally what is your ar? So because for the first term you found what is your a0, for equating the second term you found what is the value of a1, and so on, and then you are going to make in the generalized term what is the value of ar, the coefficient of a, when this is your ar. So ar is nothing but minus ar minus 2, it is going to right hand side, divided by k plus r whole square minus n square, where r is greater than or equal to 2. So now what we are going to do here? So r is okay, r we will be just writing down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. We need to know the value of k. N, we know n is fixed, n is something which is order, which is given. So k value, just now we had seen that the value of k which we have accepted to start our solution was plus minus n. That means two values of k is actually given to me. So I'll come to know, so I'll put the value of k as plus n, and later on we'll put the value of k as minus n to get the final answer. So what I'm going to do here? So I'm going to write down when k equals plus n, what will be my ar, right? So ar is what? Minus, so numerator is as it is, in the denominator I've just written down instead of k this is n. Okay, so this is how much? A plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. Correct? and then minus n square. So n square gets cancelled. This is 2nr plus r square. So this is my AR. And what we are doing, we are finding out the coefficient A0, A1, A2, A3, AR, and then A infinity or something, correct? So A0, A1 we have done, and then to find the later on, we have just made it generalized from AR and putting the value of R as 2, 3, 4, 5. We will come to know that what is the coefficient A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, and so on. Fine. I think this till here the things are clear. So that is only what we are doing. Now we are going to put the value of R here. Okay. So A2 will be how much? So I am putting the value of R is 2. So it will be minus A2 minus 2, 0. That means minus A0. The numerator is minus A0. Denominator is R is nothing but 2. So 2, 2, 4. So 4n plus 4. Why 4? 2 square. So 4n plus 4. Or nothing, we just simplified it. 4 common, n plus 1. So minus A0 by 4, n plus 1. Okay. Now what will be my A3? For A3, if I'm putting, A3 is what? You are putting R value 3. If R is 3, so minus A1, correct? 3 minus 2, 1. So minus A1. In the denominator, R is now 3. So 3 to 6. So 6n plus 3 into 3, 9. 6n plus 9. Okay, and then we are saying that this is 0. Why A3 we have put 0? Because what is the value of A1? Right? We had made A1 as 0. Correct? Since A1 was 0, so my A3 is also 0. So A3 0, A1 0. Similarly, A5, A7, A9, all odd terms here. Value of R, if it is odd, so it will be 0. And what will be the reason? Because now to find the value of A5, suppose, what you will be writing down? Minus A, R minus 2, 5 minus 2, that means A3. In the numerator, it will be minus A3, and A3 is 0. So all your odd term, even A5 will also be 0. Fine. Now come to the even term. So in even term A2, we come to know that A2 is minus A0 by 4 n plus 1. What will be my A4? A4 will be what? A4 will be, if R is 4, 4 minus 2 is 2, that means minus A2, and then 4, 4, 2, 8, that means 8n plus 16, 8n plus 16, correct? Now I'm just simplifying the denominator, that means minus A2 by 8 taking common n plus 2, or if I am putting it in term of A0 only, because just to make one term only common. So if I am putting in terms of A0, so what I should write down? So A0, if I am writing down, because A2, right? A2 is how much? A2 is minus A0. So minus and minus will become plus. So plus A0. And here it was how much? 4n plus 1. So 4n plus 1 into 8, 4n plus 1 into 8n plus 2 will give you how much? Will give you 32, n plus 1, n plus 2, and so on. You can make it, right? Okay, so that means what we have done, we are actually going to substitute all these values in the expanded form of equation number 2. What is equation number 2? This is only the equation from where we started our method, the series solution method, right? Equation number 1 was nothing but the Bessel equation, right? Bessel differential equation is the differential equation 1 that we have to memorize this form. Second is, this is only general form for any question. If further also you are going to solve using your power series method, so this will be your always the first method, first term to start with. So it is y equals the summation r equals 0 to infinity ar x to the power k plus r. Okay, so if I'm going to expand it, why I'm going to expand it? Because now I come to know what is my value of A0, A1, A2, A3, A4 and so on. So it will be easier to get exact value of Y, correct? So for that, I'm just expanding it. If I'm expanding by putting the value of R, what I'm going to write down? So this is what? This is nothing but AR x to the power K into x to the power R. Is that okay? And then this is summation r equals 0 to infinity. This is y, correct? So all term, this x to the power k is actually common. So I'm just putting x to the power k outside, and then putting the value of r equals 0, so it will be a0 x to the power 0, a0 x to the power 0, so x to the power 0 will be 1, so a0 plus a1 x to the power 1 plus a2 x to the power 2 and so on. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here, let the solution for k equals plus n be denoted by y1, because the k value are actually plus n minus n, two values are there. So just right now we are working on the half part, that means we are finding out if k is plus n, so just say that this is nothing but y1. So y1 is what? We have said k is n, correct? K is plus n. So this is x to the power n is outside, then a0 minus, so this is a0, and then what is your a1? A1 is 0, correct? So this term is 0. We are not writing down here. So it is nothing but a2x square. A2x square was what? Minus a0 by 4. This is the same thing what we had got in terms of a0. We have written down here. X square is present here. Okay. Now, what about your a3 term? This is 0. So I'm not writing down here, correct? So this is nothing but your a4 x to the power 4 term. No any odd term is written here, all are 0. So you're just writing down the even term. In even term, I'm just writing down everything in terms of a0 only to make it simpler. So this is a0, we had seen that for a4 how much we have got it, and so on. Fine. Now what we are writing down, we are just taking out a0 common. So a0 x to the power n, now it is going to give you 1 minus 1, right? 1 into x square. So x square divided by, just making it into some form, because we really want to know if some standard form we are getting. This is 2 square n plus 1 plus, this is a0 taken outside, this is x to the power 4 divided by 32 is nothing but 2 to the power 5. So 2 to the power 5, then n plus 1, n plus 2, and then so on, right? So it will be actually alternate positive negative term. Fine. So this is something which we have given name as y1, but my complete y will be actually containing y1, y2 both, right? Y2 will be what? Y2 will be, if you are putting the value of x as minus n, so we will be writing down that this is nothing but my y2. So the solution will be your y2. And finally, whatever you will be getting as y1 or y2, you will make the linear combination of y1 plus y2 to get what is the y. Fine, this is the idea. So what we are writing down, we are replacing the same thing, n with minus n. In my this equation number 4, what we have written down, y2 will be what? Just replace n with minus n. Just replaced n with minus n. So here also this is minus n, this is minus n, this is minus n, and this complete term you have got as nothing but your y2. Okay. Now the complete solution of Bessel differential equation is given by, this is nothing but your linear combination of y1 and y2, where a and b, two things we have just added, because this is just generalized form, right? So a and b are nothing but arbitrary constant. Okay. Now what we are going to write down, so we will now standardize the solution. What was your y1? Here is the y1 given here for your reference. So what we are writing down now, we are just standardizing this y1, okay, and further the same thing we'll do with y2, and then we'll get the answer. Okay, but to standardize this y1, something which we need to actually memorize is, here we are actually choosing the value of a0, right? Whatever we have got is with respect to your a0. N is, you know that the n is nothing but the order of Bessel differential equation. X is variable, that is okay. A0 is actually, we have chosen the value of a0 1 by 2 to the power n gamma n plus 1. Okay, this is something which you need to know. This a0 is 1 by 2 to the power n gamma n plus 1. Fine. So if we will be writing down this one here, so that will lead to standardize this equation. Okay, so this is nothing but a0 is written here. a0 is 1 by 2 to the power n gamma n plus 1. X to the power n is written here, and then the same thing is written here. Nothing, there is no changes here. This is just we are copying it here. And then what we are writing down, this is nothing but 1 minus, this is x by 2 whole square, you can write down x by 2 whole square, and then 1 by n plus 1. What about this term? What you can write down? You can write down x by 2 to the power 4, and then 1 2 will be separated out, correct? That means x by 2 to the power 4, and then n plus 2, n plus 1, whatever, n plus 1, n plus 2, and then into 2, and then so on. Fine. So now what we are writing down here, we are saying that x by 2 to the power n, we have made it as common for all terms, x by 2 to the power n, and then this 1 by gamma n plus 1 I am multiplying in all terms. Why we are doing? Because of the property of gamma function, which we will be seeing in the next slide. So what we are writing down here, 1 by gamma n plus 1, it has gone inside, it has gone inside, just written down here inside, nothing else we have done till now. Okay, fine. So now what is happening here, this is the property of gamma function which we are going to utilize. For that only we have done this arrangement. What is the property? That gamma n is n minus 1 gamma n minus 1. That is the previous terms, right? N minus 1 and then gamma n minus 1. This is only what we are going to use here. Similarly, if it is the property, then you can write, if it is your gamma n plus 2, what is before n plus 2, this is n plus 1. So n plus 1 into gamma n plus 1. Similarly, suppose if you have to write down gamma n plus 3, that means whatever is previous of n plus 3, this is n plus 2. So n plus 2 gamma n plus 2, and gamma n plus 2 is nothing but n plus 1 gamma n plus 1. So with respect to n plus 1 only, you can write down gamma n plus 2 also, you can write down gamma n plus 3 also, and so on. So here this is the same thing what we had written down here, the same thing I've just copied here. This can be arranged in this fashion. This is x by 2 whole to the power n, 1 by gamma n plus 1. Now what is this one? This is n plus 1 gamma n plus 1 will give you how much? Gamma n plus 2, right? Gamma n plus 2. Similarly, n plus 1, n plus 2, gamma n plus 2 will give you gamma n plus 3. Same thing what we had seen here, and then 2 was multiplying here. Okay, so now and so on. So what we are writing down here? So we can actually write down y1 as x by 2 to the power n. The same thing if I am going to write down in terms of factorial terms, that means this is nothing but into 1, correct? And this is again nothing but into 1. This is into 2, and so on. So we can write down here the denominator part is factorial 0, because we know that factorial 0 is also 1, factorial 1 is also 1, correct? No. So we have written down factorial 0 here, factorial 1 here, and then here factorial 2, and then later it will be coming on the same fashion. And then this is what? Oh, this is your alternate plus minus plus minus. We are making it all as positive. This is the summation, right? All we are making at addition. So for that, what we have written down? Since this is your first term is positive, so minus 1 to the power 0, anything to the power 0 will give you 1, so this is nothing but 1. And this is what? Minus 1 to the power 1 is nothing but actually your minus, right? Similarly, minus 1 to the power 2 is your plus, and so on. So to make it actually the summation all as positive, we are doing this arrangement. Okay, so now further what we are writing down here? So now we are going to say that this is the same term. Now we are going to say that this is nothing but this is x by 2 to the power n common, and then we are writing down in terms of sigma. The same thing, this and the first term is same. This is nothing but sigma r equals 0 till infinity. Suppose this is the power r. R is 0, R1, R2, and then it will keep on moving. So power r is there, so minus 1 to the power r, and then here in the denominator also what we are writing down, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, so we are writing down r factorial r, so this is also factorial r, and then what we are writing down here, this is your n plus 1, okay, and this is your n plus 2. So if my first term, if I'm saying that first term is r equals 0, if in my first term I want to put that r equals 0, so what I should write down here to make it generalized? Then I should write down, if I'm writing down n plus r plus 1, because r is 0 I'm putting. Why I'm putting r is 0? because the summation starts with 0 till infinity. So the first term will be containing wherever is r, I'm putting, it will be 0. So I'm writing down n plus r plus 1. If r is 0, it will be nothing but n plus 1 only, right? This is nothing but n plus 1 only. This is factorial 0. This is minus 1 to the power 0 for your first term. This is x by 2 and then 2 into r. And why we are doing 2 into r? Why not only r? Because just focus here, what is the power? For the first term, this is 0. For the second term, 2. For the third term, this is 4. That means 2 into r, if I'll make, then it will be in the even term, correct? So this is x by 2, then to the power 2 into r. R is 0. What if this is my second term? Suppose for this term, how I am going to get if I am putting in this fashion? So you can say that this is nothing but r value 1. If r value 1, so it will be what? This will be minus 1. This will be minus 1 to the power 1. And here it will be r value 1. So n plus 2, right? This is n plus 2. Okay, this is factorial 1 and then x by 2 to the power 2 into 1 to the power 2. So this is the generalized form, fine. So this we have got as, this is my y1, or what we can write down here. So what we are writing down here, sigma r 0 to infinity minus 1 to the power r and then x by 2 to the power n plus 2r. Why we are writing down? Because x by 2 is here also, x by 2 is here also. So keeping it inside, so this is n plus 2r, right? So n plus 2r. And this is nothing, the same thing divided by this is nothing, gamma n plus r plus 1 and then factorial r. Okay, so this is only called as Bessel function of first kind of order n. And we denote it with jnx. So we denote it with jnx. So this is what your function. This is called as Bessel function. Bessel function is also called as a special function, right? There are different special functions. One of them is Bessel function also, which is nothing but jnx. So jnx is called as first kind of order n. N is in the order of Bessel function. Okay, so this is what we have got here. This is the same thing copied here. This is jnx. What will be my j minus nx? Why I am finding out j minus nx? Because don't forget that we have to put the value of n plus n also, value of k plus n also, minus n also. So if I am finding out j minus nx, it will be nothing but just write down, instead of n, write down minus. If I write down, suppose minus, it will be here minus, it will be minus here, and then it will be your j minus nx. See here. So further, the solution for k equals minus n in respect to y2 denoted by j minus nx, and this is nothing but just replace n with minus n. Okay, and what is the general solution of Bessel function? General solution we had said was my y was nothing but linear combination of these two values. So linear combination of a jnx plus b j minus nx, where a and b are nothing but arbitrary constant. So this way we find out the Bessel function, and then how to get the Bessel function by using the series solution method. So how we actually performed it, nothing, just if you will see, go back here and then see which all things we have actually done here. So very first thing is, if it is coming in your exam, which is very, very important. So first you need to know, you need to memorize what is the Bessel differential equation form, like how you have memorized what is the standard form of Cauchy differential equation, how the general form of Legendre's differential equation. Similarly, we need to know what is Bessel differential equation form. So this is the Bessel differential equation form with nth order of Bessel equation. So this is something which we have to memorize. So this is equation number 1. But if I am going to solve this Bessel differential equation using power series method, and why I am opting series solution method? Because the general form which we have covered, the general differential equation for second order linear differential equation, we will not be able to find the solution, right? So for that, we are going to use the different method which is for sure going to give me the answer. It's nothing but series solution method. So if I'm saying series solution method, that means something which will be having the sigma, the series solution will be there, correct? No. So that is written down here. So this is something, the second term, second thing which the second equation which we need to know, that you have to start with this this equation, right? This is only the series solution of what you are going to find out y as your Bessel differential equation. So if it is your series solution, always always keep in your mind that what you are finding out, where you are putting this series solution, you are putting in the Bessel equation, right? Because you have to find Bessel differential equation with the help of series solution. Bessel differential equation contains d2y by dx square also, it contains dy by dx also, and it contains y also. Y in the series form you have got, right? You started with that. So for that reason only, your second step should be, you need to find out what is your dy by dx. Again, you need to find out what is your d2y by dx square, and nothing, you just put all those things in one line, and don't forget to multiply x square with d2y by dx square, x with dy by dx. Everything else will be same, only the power of x will get changed, otherwise everything else will be same. Okay, so till now there is no any problem, right? Now what we are going to do, we are just arranging this series, so, like this complete series, we just arranging it. The left hand side, actually this is easy also. Why? Because the power of x, you can find that in 3 places the power of x is same. So I'm just putting all those things together, and here only the power of x is different, which is higher, will be the separated term, right? So here if you will see, we have just done whatever we have said here. So those three things together, this is one is separated out, and then we have just arranged it, and we found here this is the equation. So here only you are analyzing everything, right? All those terms. What further? The next term is what? The two steps are done, easily done. Now the third step is, what is your first step? You have written down the Bessel differential equation. Second step is you have written down the series solution of y, right? And then you, for that only, you have found out what is d2y by dx square, what was dy by dx, and then you got this equation. The third term is very important, that is you have to analyze that if this complete sigma term is actually, if it is 0, that means you are going to pick the value of r is 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then so on, and then you are equating independently the terms, the coefficient of terms as 0. Okay, so for that, this will not have any role if you are finding out a naught or you are finding out a1. The reason, because the power of x here is, a minimum power of x will be how much? X to the power k plus 2. So to find a naught is what? When r is 0, because your series does not start with negative, it starts with 0. So it will be, you will take consideration of this term when you will start finding out the power of x, which is k plus 2 or more than 2. Okay, or more than k plus 2. Fine. So a0 and a1 you have found by using only this term, right? So you have just picked out what is at r equals 0, what is the coefficient, because you are equating the coefficient as 0. You cannot equate n as 0, you cannot equate k as 0, they are already given, they are just a constant. R is only which is governing this series. So you are equating r is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on to get the coefficient of first term, second term, third term, and equating them all as 0. Okay. So you have got here, you have analyzed, right? Because you got what is the value of k, because we are just saying that a0 is not 0. For the second term, that means to find a1, for the second term, that is to find the value of a1, you have just chosen the coefficient when you have put the value of r as 1 and then equated that coefficient with 0. And then here again there will be two cases, and then you have to, here only some analysis you have to do, right? Because since already you have said that k is plus minus n, so you cannot accept this value. So for that you have to accept that a1 is 0. Fine. So you got your a1 is 0. But to start finding out the value of a2, a3, a4 and all, you have to consider both summation. So this is nothing but the coefficient of x to the power k plus r. Why this is r minus 2? Because to make the power of k as k plus r only, because it was in your second term, it was x to the power k plus r plus 2. To make it k plus r only, you have to start with r minus 2, right? You have to choose with r minus 2. So for that only we have written down, for the power of x to the power k plus r, you have to start saying that r is nothing but r minus 2. Got that? What is my AR? Fine. So this is the general form of AR, and then you are just going to put the value of r as 0, 1, 2. I mean 0 and 1 is done. So 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, right? Okay, but be careful that here you have to put the value of k also, and you have said that the value of k is nothing but plus minus n. That means for y1 you have to choose k as n, for y2 you have to choose k as minus n, and then you will find the linear combination of y1 and y2 to get the final value of y, right? To get the final value of your Bessel differential equation. So if I am putting the k as n, so this is the term, right? This is the term, and then I'm just writing down r value 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and then we will come to know that all odd terms of r, that means a5, a7, a3 and all, that will be 0. Only the even term will be present, and those even terms we will be arranging in terms of only one coefficient, that means a naught only. We will be just arranging in terms of a naught only. So since we are done with here, after that what we have to do, right? Because this is the series solution which we are finding out. Since now I am more confident about my solution, because I know what is my a naught, I know what is my a1, I know what is my a2 and so on. So I can write down the answer with the terms of, I mean the expanded form, right? So I can expand this series solution, and then independently I can put the values of a naught, a1, a2 and so on to get the final answer. So here actually we are very nearer to the answer. So we got to know that this is, we're just putting that value where this term will be 0, this term will be 0. That means all odd terms of a1, a3, a5 will be 0. So this is your final even terms summations, and then just we are rearranging it here, putting the value of k as minus n. I'm just rewriting this y1 as y2 where the value of n is minus n. So these two are exactly same. We're just putting the value of n as minus n. And after that, what we had said here, this linear combination, but this is only what you have to actually know, that this is the value of a naught which we are going to write down. Why we are writing down this a naught value only? Because this is the because this is the value which is only giving me the standardized solution of my Bessel differential equation. So this value, if I have written down, this is with respect to my gamma function. So we will use the property of gamma function, and then just copying those things, and then for gamma function we have this property, arranging the function with respect to this property, and then finally we have got that this is nothing but my general solution. So this general solution is only my jnx, and then just put the value of n as minus n, and then you will find j minus nx, and then finally your answer will be general solution of Bessel equation will be a jnx plus b j minus nx. So this way we find that how to get this Bessel differential equation solution. So if you find this class useful, please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.